Aloha, friends, coming on. Matthew Joseph in the house. Mom's in the house. I'm sure some more friends will come on. I'm 1 minute early. And it was one of those mornings where I let myself sleep in because I really needed the sleep. And on some of those mornings, today, I don't know, it was just like everything felt like it was taking so long. And I wasn't really like taking that long, but I had that feeling of like, wow, like I just spent like an hour on the buckwheat microgreens. I don't think it was that long, but I don't know. I had some kind of weird time dilation going on this morning. So I was like, it's hard for me sometimes to know what time to set the Instagram lives at, the Reiki lives. So like, I really appreciate y'all just like kind of coming on whenever I'm like, hey, we're doing it. I really, really appreciate that so much. And yeah, hello, and warm welcome to everyone here. Today is day 12 of the 40 days of Reiki. Yesterday, I didn't have a separate live because I did tea time with Tay, that's me, and Titi, my dear soul sister, Tina Suze. And that was absolutely epic. Some of y'all I know went, and I really hope tons of people watch it, honestly, because we were talking about shadow work. And in that live, I related it. We were relating shadow work to the raw vegan lifestyle, but also to, for me personally, Reiki, how I've used Reiki to do shadow work. And it's next leveled my shadow work. Like I was doing good shadow work before Reiki, but then when Reiki came online for me, the last almost 2 years, it's just been more and more and more like intense, apparent, healing, transformative, obvious, fast, like happening in real time. So y'all check out that live. I do talk about Reiki. It's just worth your time. You know, if you're doing inner work, it's definitely worth a watch. That is on my IGTV channel at Joyful Raw Life. And then it's also on my YouTube channel, Taylor A. Norris. So that is there. All of these are there. All of the 40 days of Reiki are on my IGTV as well as my YouTube channel. So if you ever like have missed one or you want to go back and watch because you came in late, definitely highly recommend that. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. It's the 40 days of Reiki in honor of Master Reiki healer Jesus and his journey over the Lenten season, and you know the deep meaning that has in many of our hearts. And Jesus is a true Reiki healer, is a true ascended master, a true master healer. He helps me out in all the healing work that I do. He has performed so many miracles, you know, when he was a human on earth. He continues, y'all, this is the coolest part. He continues to perform miracles every single day with everyone who does Holy Fire Reiki. Like, we are just little conduits so that Jesus can do healing on earth, like continue to do it without actually having to take another human body full on. So really cool. Every day for the 40 days of Reiki, I'm coming on live. And like I said, the replays are happening on my IGTV and on YouTube. Taylor A. Norris. Couple other, my intention with this, you'll see later on, I'm real big on intention, and for good reason. My intention with the 40 days of Reiki is to educate, inform, inspire, and intrigue you about Reiki as a tool for healing the mind, body, soul, and spirit, as well as a tool for spiritual awakening, and in itself a spiritual path that very beautifully is not a religion, thus can be combined with any religious tradition that anyone practices, as well as someone who's completely non-religious and non-spiritual can get a lot of benefits from Reiki. And I will be talking about that soon, like Reiki and science and Reiki in a more non-spiritual context, because it's there. It's definitely there. Obviously, if y'all are tuning in, y'all are probably more comfortable with like my spiritual language and everything, which I appreciate. Not everyone is down for those terms, and that's cool. Like, we're all coming from where we're coming from. I personally really like looking at the science, like more empirical evidence-based stuff too, in anything that I learn. So I'm getting off on a whole tangent. Oh, some announcements. I was like, I'm going to keep it chill today, and already it's like my energy is like, woo. Okay, it's the Reiki. So, some announcements. I'm offering Reiki 1 and 2 training, Holy Fire Usui Reiki 1 and 2 training. It is appropriate for beginners. It's appropriate for anyone who's new to Reiki, and if you've already taken Reiki 1 and 2 in any Reiki lineage. Totally cool. You're totally welcome. That will be happening in May online. There is a sign up for the wait list for that course. The link is in my bio, or it's in the description box if you're watching this on YouTube later on. I'm also offering a free video mini course, truly holistic course, y'all. Very, very valuable. It is the best kept secrets of radiant health and spiritual awakening. And every week I am sharing exclusive, fresh video content to the people who are on my email list for that course. So, and I'll be actually after this filming the video that I'm sending today. So that will be dropping tomorrow morning. If you get in, you sign up for the free mini course today, you'll get that video tomorrow. So more of me in your inbox if you want that. I'm like everywhere on social media right now. All right, that's all I've got for announcements. We will now get into the Reiki invocation. So at this time, I ask you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and begin to come into your body, taking some long, slow, deep breaths, tuning in, turning your awareness in from the external world into your internal world, into your internal, inner, rich landscape that's, trust me, just as exciting as what's going on outside, if not more so. So you can place your hands comfortably on your body. The light of Reiki fills the air that you breathe. Your breath fills your body with the light. As you breathe in the light within you wakes up. The light within you is revealed. The power of divine love fills your breath and is revealed at the core of your being. The power of the divine mind fills your breath and is revealed at the core of your consciousness. The power of the divine heart fills your breath and is revealed in the light of your heart. The power of the divine earth fills your breath and is revealed in your body. The power of God fills your breath, and the power of God is revealed in you. The power of your Holy Spirit is revealed within you. Look inside and say thank you to you. Appreciate you and how deeply you love. Together we say thank you to the divine ones who join us. We invite your divine guidance, healing, and empowerment. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Thank you. As a child of God, I claim my power and purpose as a servant of God. I demand that all darkness leave me and all who are present watching this at any time immediately. I ask that Archangel Michael place me and all who are watching this at any time in his blue bubble of protection against all darkness. All right, we're here. We're invoked. The Reiki has been called in. The Reiki was already here, by the way. Secret. The Reiki was already here, but we really blasted it. And that's what's so cool. Everyone who's here live, everyone who watches this after the fact, you get Reiki every time you tune in the whole time. And you get Archangel Michael, who will clear out anything that might be in you that's not serving, anything that's hanging around you that's not serving. You know, everything from negative thought forms to, disease, depression, negative entity, that kind of thing. So, yeah, as well as being filled, the invocation, it's filling you with the light of Reiki. It's filling you with all the symbols without actually saying what the symbols are, which is very cool. It's empowering the symbols to do their magic and their work on you, even if you don't have Reiki, even if you don't know what the symbols are, any of that. And the symbols are kept secret, and that's part of the Reiki thing. You get them when you do the training, and it's cool. It makes it even more special and more sacred. Feeling and healing, and yeah. So I'll get in today's topic. If y'all have any questions, drop them in the chat. Hi, Dawn Adams from Australia. Hello, everyone who's here. I appreciate you so much. Everyone who tunes in later on. If y'all have questions, like I said, drop them in the chat. I'm gonna have a sip of my little elixir here. This is so good. I wasn't expecting it to be this good, but it is. Coconut water, cane juice, microgreens that I grew, and some green powders. It's so good. What's good with the Tektites? What are the Tektites? I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Might be my ignorance. I'll just mention that this morning, if you saw my post, you saw that the Reiki, the topic was a surprise. It's because I honestly didn't know what I was going to talk about. Because as I have ideas, I have this whole list of ideas. It wasn't Moldavite. All right. Moldavite. I do know Moldavite, friend. We're going to be talking about crystals for a second, it sounds like. Meteorite crystals. Okay, so fun story. I was traveling in Thailand 4 years ago. Met this guy at a fruit festival and retreat there, and we were soul fam. He's a healer dude, really cool, really out there. And he was into the crystals, he was into energy healing, he was learning this quantum healing. He actually practiced it on me, so I got to receive that and do kind of a past life regression hypnosis thing. It's pretty awesome. But he was super into the Moldavite. He was swearing by it, and I'm trying to think if he gave me a piece of it. He kept saying how expensive and it's the crystal, Taylor, of all the crystals to have, it's the crystal. And Matthew Joseph, that's probably, you're on board with that. It's one of these crystals, I think, that's this one, the Sacred Seven, where it's oh, this is a master crystal. This is an ascended crystal. All the crystals are master crystal, ascended crystals, but I don't know. People like to really, I don't know. I'm getting a master crystal vibe from this, but I mean, really, it's any of the ones that I work with. I think it really depends on how open you are and how sensitive and how much you can connect with them. Because I don't really like to discriminate, But yeah, that Moldavite, he was talking it up. He might have given me a piece of it. I feel like he did, because he was a nice guy. We had a really good connection. And yeah, if you wanna send me some Tektite, I'm down to work with it and see what I think. I'm not in the market for more crystals right now. If y'all saw my place, you would understand why. It is a crystal castle up in here. There are more crystals than I actually know what to do with. We have crystals waiting to be given to people and stuff. So I'm not looking for more crystals. If crystals come find me, okay, I'll take them in. I'm not turning away stray crystals. But I think he might have given me some. it was funny in Thailand, like I had like packed up all my stuff, given a bunch of stuff away, put things in storage so that I could go on this trip and like be away for as long as possible. And I was living out of a backpack. And guess what though, y'all? Like this is just typical me. Like what did I have? I had my entire crystal collection in my backpack, okay? And we're not talking like 5 crystals. It was, I don't know how many pounds of crystals it was, but it was significant. And I actually ended up losing all of them because this girl I met in the fruit community, she was super minimalist, and she was like a minimalist coach. She was helping me figure out, like I was with in the big 60-liter backpack, and traveling around Southeast Asia with a big 60-liter backpack, yoga mat, 28-liter backpack, it was too much. So she helped me consolidate from the 60-liter backpack to the 28-liter backpack. And in doing so, I packed up that 60-liter backpack with everything, I didn't immediately need. And what went in, it was a lot of my crystals. There were certain ones that I was like, nah, we're not sending. But most of them went in that backpack, and I sent them to my friend in Louisiana. And I never got that backpack again. I never saw it again. I asked her repeatedly if she had it or like what happened, and she never said. I know she had been through some hard times and like moved and everything, so it might have just gotten lost in her move or something. But like, yeah, my entire crystal collection. And that's the thing with crystals, you really can't be too attached to them, because when they're ready to be passed on to someone else or to go somewhere else, they will just leave you. And I think, if anything, if this woman still has my backpack, it's because I think she probably needs the crystals around her more than I need them. And like, I've clearly like replaced. And I remember, one of the chunks was this. This was like one of my first crystals, the chrysocolla. I think that's what it is. And yeah, I have gotten repeats of a lot of different ones. I did lose a Lemurian quartz crystal in that stash, and that is one I would like to get again, because Hawaii is like Lemuria, it's Mu, basically, Big Island especially. But Moldavite, definitely, I'm totally open to receiving some if some comes into my life, but I am not buying anymore. I give them away. I give them away all the time. I give crystals away like constantly. It's very fun. But yeah, what I was sharing earlier was that I didn't really have a plan for today. I thought, I'd ask y'all to ask your questions, which you're still welcome to do. With this whole 40 days of Reiki, really, like, my guides were just like, you got to do it. Like, there was no like pre-planning. I'll talk about this day 1, this day 2, this day 3. That's not what's happening here. I get different downloads about what needs to be talked about, and then also like holding space for whatever just needs to get through, come through me, get through me, come through me. So I had this idea, yesterday, what was coming up in my talk with Tina at Tea Time with Tay Tay and TT, T to the 4 to the 8. That's a lot of T's. We'll talk about that in the future, what all that means. There is meaning. With me and Tina, there's always meaning on like 20 different levels. So, but yeah, we were talking about shadow work, and I was talking about using Reiki to I shared it on here, like really get to the root cause of like anger and tracing that back and healing ancestral anger. But also attached to that, part of what I observed in that whole pattern was disordered eating and how that was mixed in. So one of the ideas for what I wanted to share here was healing disordered eating with Reiki is something I want to talk about. But before I get into that, something that Reiki was like, hey, Tay, talk about this. They want you to know that it's important to have an intention when you work with Reiki, like anything else. If you want like max benefits, max healing, max spiritual awakening, have an intention, okay? So what do you want to heal? Do you want to heal your chronic shoulder pain? Do you want to heal your chronic IBS? Do you want to heal anxiety? Do you want to heal depression? Do you want to heal thyroid issues, migraines? What do you want to heal? Like, name it and claim it, okay? Name it and claim it. It's okay. That's helpful. It's clarifying. It gives Reiki permission to go hardcore and heal that issue for you, okay? It really does. It's like Jesus is like, all right, fine. Like, oh, okay, I can go do it now. Like, I can go do it, and I can heal everything attached to that. It's permission. It is permission, and it's also like, what's really troubling you the most, you know? And the guides and the team, they'll really take that into account too, in addition to whatever they see as like the primary, right? Like what needs to be healed first. But for you, having that intention is helpful and grounding and clarifying for you to just be like, that's what I'm trying to heal. And yeah, when you receive Reiki too, you'll also know, like, oh, if it's shoulder, then, you know, I'm placing my hands on my shoulder more, and I should be giving more love to my shoulder, and like what that actually, like what part you have to play in it, you know? That's really key, because Reiki team, like the guides, Jesus, they got it covered. They got their part covered. But, you know, clarifying that intention for you too, so you know what your part is in it as well, what actions you can take, what thoughts will be supportive, what habits will be supportive too. Because, there might be some things in your life you can change to help support that intention. So what do you want to heal? What do you want to become aware of? If you're using this more as a spiritual awakening tool or as a tool for guidance, asking, what do you want to become aware of? Asking yourself that and giving yourself space, again, to name it and claim it. Like the other day for me, with the anger, being like, what is this anger? Reiki, help me to understand and heal this anger. So getting curious of it. What do you want to become aware of? What do I need to let go of, right? This is another question. What do you want to release and let go of, right? Another thing you could want to become aware of is like, what are my energy leaks? That's a good one. That just popped into my head. What are my energy leaks? Because sometimes we don't see them. And, you know, Reiki would be more than happy to show them to you. What do you want to release or let go of? Again, this is empowering Reiki to go ahead and support you in releasing and letting go. And also, it is empowering you to start taking actions and measures in your life to let go of whatever those things are, to release whatever those things are. So it's a synergy. It's a teamwork. It really is a teamwork. It's you on the ground, in the body, changing habits, changing routines, changing, you know, what you can, applying Reiki, you know, to different areas if you do have the Reiki. And then it's empowering Reiki to just like do its work. Reiki energy, consciously guided life force energy, pure unconditional love. It's empowering the whole team. If you're working with a team, Jesus, etc., ascended masters of your choice. But also, if you're using holy fire, like, I'm sorry, Jesus is going to be involved. He's there. A lot of the Christian and Catholic characters are there. That's what I'm discovering more and more. So, yeah, and it's fun. It's fun. Like, yesterday I got really clear on, like, once again, like, who all my guides are, who I'm working with, who I'm evoking, who's on my team, who doesn't need to be on my team. And actually my guides were like, Taylor, you need to stop, like, looking for other guides. We love how inclusive you are, and you want, like, I'm like trying to find the best team possible, like from as much diverse groups and everything as possible. This is just my nature. I'm very very thorough, do my due diligence, do my research. I want to hear from everybody. I know there's truth in all the different kinds of systems and traditions. And my guides were like, you're good. You're good. Like, really, you're good. Here, just like start tuning into who all's here more. And I did. I like listed them all out. And then there are a few guides that I have like more on call for on demand on call guides. They're like for very specific kinds of healing that I might need to do in my work. Like we got someone who's infested with spirit entities, like, oh my God, you know, that kind of thing. Like I got a couple that come in and they deal with that, right? They're not like my day-to-day crew. But they're like specialty guides that do, it's like going to a specialty doctor, right? It's like I got a couple specialists on my team who are more than happy to do that deep work. And what's funny is I was calling upon them before I received the training in Reiki Master to be able to consciously do that kind of work. I, with just Reiki 1 and 2, was empowering these guides to do that work, and they were doing it successfully. So Reiki's super intuitive, friends, and a lot of y'all have probably done it in past lives if you're here. So I think a lot of us are just finding it again now and coming back into it. I know that's definitely the case for me. So another thing they mentioned was strong, all caps, intention to heal. Have a strong intention to heal. Have a strong intention to wake up. Especially these things that have stuck around a long time, okay? These things that are like really deep. They go back really far. Maybe you've already tried to heal them several times, many times, with different doctors, different approaches, different modalities, etc. These things that are really deep, really, you gotta dig deep to create a strong intention for healing, a strong intention for becoming aware of any kind of patterns that are perpetuating that dis-ease in your life. So the stronger your intention for healing and for waking up is, the more Reiki's just gonna deliver and deliver and deliver, and you're gonna be delighted with your results. So that they said, and also relating it to age too. So, you know, the older you are, the deeper the grooves in the brain are, okay, for those different pathways, those different negative thinking patterns, those different negative emotional loops, the negative, hey, Medi-Kate, oh, y'all, I met Kate in Ecuador, and she's a beautiful soul. I'm happy you're here, sweetheart. So the older you are, the more deeper ingrained these things are. And does that mean you can't heal because you're old? No, not at all. Okay. Hey, be white. Yeah. It just means that if you're more advanced in age, it means just dig deeper. Okay. Like stronger intention. All right. And it just means that those patterns have had a longer time to grab in and ground in. And as they're eradicated, you know, the healing starts immediately and it just continues, right? And it gets better and better the longer you revisit that strong intention every single day. My guides were really clear on that too. So create a strong intention, revisit it every single day, so that you're making sure your life is aligning with that intention, that you're supporting that intention, so that Reiki can do its part and you can do your part too. So it is a taking responsibility. That's definitely needed as well. What else did they say about older? Yeah, older in age, even more ingrained, can still heal and change and release, but need strong intention and continuous returning to the intention. This is why they say, like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks and this kind of stuff, or if you're old, like it's impossible to change, or that is nonsense. Okay, nonsense. Of course, there's time to heal, there's time to change, there's time to grow. So they wanted me to say that, but okay, so keep revisiting the intention. This is good for everybody, no matter what you're trying to heal, no matter, if you're looking for spiritual awakening, revisiting that intention over time for deeper, more complete healing, especially with these issues that have been, quote unquote, haunting you or around for a long time. Sometimes the wounds are quite deep, formed long ago. There's lots of cords. If you are a fan of like the energetic cord kind of way of thinking about these kinds of things, many triggers, okay, many deep grooves in the brain. So the physiology has changed to accommodate whatever this thing is that needs to be healed. And you can change the physiology as you heal, and it will change. Like the science is finally showing this, as the brave scientists who are like being called mystics and like, oh my God, it's pseudoscience. They're doing it anyway. They're studying this stuff anyway, because guess what? It all checks out. It's all legit. Even if you look at this from a completely non-woo-woo, non-spiritual way, it all checks out in the physiology, in the brain scans, in the blood flow, all the things, in the cells. Things change. It all has like a physiological like component, a match. Yeah. So healing eating disorder with Reiki, disordered eating. This is something that I have experience with, because disordered eating, disordered body image, all that. This is an example, real life, Taylor's personality example of one of these deep issues that has lingered, and as one of my friends said to me lately, haunted me. Okay, that's the language she used, and I was like, ooh, this is juicy. This is a juicy spot. Okay, so this is something I've had to revisit to release fully because of how deeply it is ingrained. Because disordered eating is definitely, it's a part of the human shadow right now, big time. It's a part of the female shadow, big time. The feminine shadow, big time. So that's encompassing all genders. But it's really, really deep, and it's really needing healing in the collective conscious right now. Super needing healing on all the angles, on all the levels, in all of its various forms and manifestations, okay? From the anorexia to the bulimia to the compulsive overeating to every little nook and cranny in between, because lots of us, myself included, it's like there's not like a term or even like a word for what even like characterizes like what my experience was, because it's like a mashup of all of these things manifesting and shape-shifting in many different ways. But I think I made a really big breakthrough with it when I came to realize that, whoa, this talk could go really deep, I'm realizing. In 2016, I realized the energetic nature of my eating disorder. That it wasn't just, like you hate your body or you want to be skinny or, food's hard for you to figure out. It was like, nah, I'm infested with negative entities who are like compelling me to fill myself. And I need to do something that's going to rid myself of the negative entities. And I reached out to a healer I really, really respected at the time. Didn't know in person, but had listened to her podcasts a lot and really felt a lot of resonance with what she was saying. And now looking back, I'm like, dude, I totally get why I resonated so hard with her, because like I'm like her on a lot of different levels, and she's probably experienced a lot of things similar to me. And yeah, it's just really cool. It's cool to like in retrospect get why you're drawn to people like on a next level of understanding. But I reached out to her because she always talked about etheric surgery. And I was like, I didn't even know what etheric surgery was. I didn't know what energy work was at that time. Only really vaguely. I was clearly still like a sensitive little like empath person then. And yeah, doing a lot of shadow work, but still doing it in like kind of more the mainstream 12-step therapy, etc. So I reached out to her and asked her about etheric surgery, and she said something. She was like traveling, she wouldn't have availability for a while, and that to me was a sign, just like hold off, like it's probably not time for you to, have a session with her. So I didn't, and I did a water fast instead, which now in retrospect actually was it was like both a good idea and not a good idea. It was a good idea because that's exactly what my soul training was requiring. It was a bad idea because it did not solve the issues that Taylor's personality intentions were not served. Taylor's intentions, the personality, wanted to lose weight and to like be free of the eating disorder. My soul needed fasting as a shamanic initiation rite, okay? And my personality was not tuned into the fact that that's why I was doing it, okay? So it caused a lot of anguish actually for a while. But yeah, so since that time, I've had the awareness that eating disorders are often, there is an energetic component. I'm wanting to say always, but I'll say often. Very often there is an energetic component to any kind of eating disorder. And a lot of times even like, I think like okay, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to change gears and talk. I'm like, I can go so many directions with this. The etiology of eating disorders from an energetic perspective. This is something I have a lot of thoughts on. A lot of like juicy, like innovative, cutting edge thoughts that I will share maybe at some point. But right now I'm not going to share. I'm going to share my experience healing eating disorder with Reiki. This is one of the things that really I made the intention in end of 2018 when I went raw again, because I'd been on cooked food as part of like an eating disorder healing journey attempt. And guess what? That wasn't my truth. It didn't serve the long run. It didn't heal my eating disorder. Oh. So I was like, I'm going to do a raw food diet the healthy way, in a non-disordered way. That was my intention. And that's what began. And I kept revisiting it. I took certain measures. At first it was, I'm just going to eat as much as I want of raw food and not weigh myself and not worry about it. Trust my body's healing process. Trust that I was nourishing myself. And in some ways that was effective for a while, but it also, I did end up overeating still, I was using heavier raw foods to numb myself still. I was able to stay raw. I was still able to have some healing, but my body wasn't transforming in the way that I wanted, and I was thinking about food then, too much. There was still the food obsession kind of thoughts, food obsessive thoughts and all of that. So didn't really heal. Then I did my Reiki training, and I started feeling some healing in the eating disorder realm after that training. Even though at that training, that was not one of my goals. My teacher had us pick 3 things we wanted to heal. So like healing intentions. And that, I don't think that was one of my goals, because I kind of thought I'd healed it, but I really hadn't. And that's another thing about seeing things in retrospect. Like now I could see that, no, I thought I was healed from it, but I wasn't. I could go further. I could be more free. I could be more liberated. I could have the body of my dreams and be liberated. Because at that time I was kind of like, man, maybe I'm just like not meant to have the body of my dreams. I need to accept that You know, I'm always going to carry a bit more weight than back when I had my ideal weight, right? So I kind of like given up on it, you know. It's just like, oh, I'll just be content with this, and you know, love myself as I am, and that is a healthy and healing process. Okay, I don't want to discredit that or discourage anyone who's in that space right now. That's right where you need to be. It was right where I needed to be. But I did notice some adjustments to my appetite happen and my taste after the Reiki training, and I started doing so much Reiki on people. And then yeah, it was like my appetite like gradually kind of like increased, and it went to like a less clean raw diet, and I was more at the mercy of my cravings, to be honest, and like needing I was using food to ground a lot of the time, because I needed something to ground, and I was living in an ungrounded environment. For me, I have very specific requirements. Okay, I gotta be in nature, I gotta be in like lush nature too. Like that's just what my system requires. And when I'm not living in lush nature, I am not grounded. When I'm living in like a, you know, not on ground floor, I'm not grounded. Like, when I'm not sleeping on the floor, I'm not grounded. Like, there are so many things that I've recently learned that, like, they're actually requirements. Like, they're not optional if I want to function at my highest ability, which I do. So, yeah, after Reiki Master, still my appetite increased, and I was kind of like, I don't know, like I'm just gonna let it go, and you know, trust the process, trust the healing, put on weight. You know, I kept getting looser and looser within the raw diet. Oh, suddenly I was eating like cooked carbs again. Oh, is this good? Is this bad? Is this liberation? What is it? Didn't feel like liberation again, and I was not in my body was not matching what, you know, my soul wants to be in. It still just wasn't. And then I was realizing actually the loving thing to do, like what I'm being asked is to get healthy, you know, is to find like a really clean, dialed in way for me, is to slowly lose weight and get to my ideal weight. And as that happened, this last time, it really since last September, I was coming into this. So, yeah, like losing weight actually in a healthy way. It is possible. It is possible. And it's even possible to lose weight in a healthy way with the intention to lose weight. Because I kind of shut that down too. I was like, oh, to even have the intention to lose weight is an unhealthy intention. Not if your intention is to lose weight in a healthy way. It can be a very healthy intention. It can be a very good intention. And so lost weight, okay, really enjoying it, okay, feeling more myself, feeling more confident, feeling more empowered, feeling like, wow, my body is matching my soul, okay, this is good. And then lost the weight, and was like, I really started becoming aware of the way my mind was still obsessing about food, about tracking, about, you know, weighing myself, and I empowered Reiki to really help me see when that was happening. And it's shown me very clearly when that happens. And it was like a little over a month ago, I was invited by my guides. They were like, Taylor, we will heal this for you. We will heal this disorder, the whole deal. We'll heal the entire package for you, okay? And they did this. They did this extremely deep etheric surgery. Talked about this before. When you go under Reiki hypnosis and you're not aware at all of what's going on, you're not having the colors and the visions and, you know, the like cool spiritual experience of a Reiki session. My guides knocked me out, okay? I was in bed and everything. Like, I was ready for it. I agreed to it. I was in a lot of pain, actually. They knocked me out. And they were like, they did surgery on me, and I was under it all night, and I woke up, and in the morning I was journaling about my experiences, and I was realizing then, like, that they really are empowering that they will take it away. They will completely heal it. They are in progress, completely healing it. And I got to do my part on the ground, I got to do my part in the body. I got to do my part, like, still, eating the good food and everything, but also loosening that grip a bit on the control, on the, counting calories, tracking, weighing myself, all of these things, loosening that grip, letting go a bit, trusting myself more, noticing when my mind is going to, like, more obsessive loops in that category of food or body or anything. Noticing when my mind goes into that space and not choosing it, okay? Not choosing it and not going there. Noticing when, like last night, for example, I do not watch media. I don't watch TV, I don't watch movies, I don't watch TV shows, I don't watch Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc. I have a very limited window of time each day that I allow myself to watch YouTube videos. Only select people do I watch. Has to be high vibe. Even if my high vibe people, they start sharing something and I don't feel good, I'll just know I gotta change it, I gotta watch something else. Or maybe I'm not meant to even watch the videos during my very short window that I allow myself to watch the videos. And last night I started watching one of my friends, and I was like, oh my God, watching this is totally feeding. It is triggering. It was triggering my disordered eating. It was triggering obsessive thoughts about this stuff. It was when I was watching this person, I started wanting to, like, track my calories for the day of what I knew I was going to eat the next day. And I was like, I don't need to do that. Wow. I need to not watch this video right now. Wow. Like, this video is feeding that disordered eating, like, entity, if you want to, think of it that way, pattern. And, like, I agreed with my guides that, like, they're going to heal this for me, but I got to do my part. This is my part on the ground. It's to not watch things that are going to trigger that. It's going to notice when I'm wanting to tighten my control like that. Like, right now, I have no business tracking calories. I have business, like, trusting myself with my food, with eating a bit more intuitively within certain parameters. Example parameters, mine, raw. I'm a raw vegan, no animals. I don't do salt. I don't do oil. I do a lot of liquids. I do a lot of greens. I do some chia. I do some healthy fat every day. And I have an idea of the calorie range I need to be in. And I know when I'm in that range because I'm satisfied and I'm energized and I'm grounded, but I'm also not stuffed. So really beginning to trust myself with that, and my guides have really empowered me to do that and just become aware of when those old patterns are coming up, to choose differently, to choose not to indulge them. And here's the best freaking part, by far. Okay, it's the best part. I love being in the body of my dreams. I love waking up and feeling good. I love going to my clothes and, knowing that all of them are going to look good. I love putting my cute outfits together, being camera ready anytime, knowing that I look good and feeling so good in my body. Like, I have so much energy. Like, I'm flexible and fit and all these things, not having any pain, not having any kind of disease. I love all that. But y'all, by far, the best perk of releasing this disordered eating mentality, entity, etc., is the fact that I now have so much more space in my mind for the divine. Okay? That's the thing. It really is an entity. It really is a thought form. The whole food obsessive wheel thing, it takes up precious real estate in your mind, and it blocks the divine from coming in. And I mean, that can manifest as just like creative blocks, right? I can't be receiving creative ideas and have the energy to manifest them into the 3D if my head is all up in this food obsessive stuff. You know, I can't be as present with other people, as present with clients or family or friends if I have all this food obsessive, you know, this entity running the show, right? But in healing and releasing this, I get so much more mental real estate back. And, you know, my guides can drop in all kinds of jewels there, all kinds of downloads, anything I want to know, okay? And if I'm running the show, if I'm thinking, oh, should I weigh myself? Oh, how much should I weigh? Oh, like, how many calories is that thing? And, oh, am I in the rate? Oh, what's the rate of this? You know, just stupid stuff. Like, don't need to think about it, okay? Thoughts don't serve. Doesn't matter, okay? Like, it's a big lie. It's a big lie. It's a big... Here, look at me. It's a distraction. It's a distraction, okay? Like, look over here, and you're not going to get the freaking, like, $1 million prize of, like, whatever the divine wants to share with you, all right? It's a deception. It's a total deception, right? It's a total deception. Yeah, so that's been the best gift from me doing my part. You know, Reiki's doing its part. My guides are doing its part. They're like, yeah, we clearing out. They're in there with the broom and the mop and the Windex. You know, the chemical-free Windex and the microfiber towels. And they're cleaning house. They're scrubbing. They're you know, hands on deck, like doing the full thing. But me in the ground, I gotta do my part. I gotta be aware of my thoughts. I gotta be aware of when I'm triggered. I gotta be aware of the behaviors too. If the behaviors are being triggered by something, so a behavior being like eating but too much food, or not eating enough food, right? Yeah, in addition to the thoughts are easy for me to see. Really, all of it's easy for me to see now. And that is phenomenal, and that's needed for doing my part on the ground. So it's healing, and you know, I really feel that as I heal, I can bring more of this forward because, as I shared yesterday in tea time, this is a big part of the raw vegan chatter too. A lot of people come to a raw vegan lifestyle, and it becomes the next manifestation, the next iteration of their eating disorder, okay? And as a result, raw vegans and fruitarians get a really bad rap, all right? I was in grad school for clinical psychology. Basically there, we were taught that everyone who is vegan, let alone raw vegan, let alone fruitarian, has a freaking eating disorder, and it's called orthorexia nervosa, all right? And, you know, at the time, I was just like, yeah, my whole mind was blown. I was like, shoot, like, can you do this diet without an eating disorder? Like, I don't know. Am I? Is it possible? And I think absolutely it is possible, but there is a kernel of truth in the whole psychological mainstream community thinking that, you know, all fruitarians are orthorexic, or like all raw vegans are orthorexic, because a lot of people come to this lifestyle and they bring that stuff in here, okay, and they don't heal it. Yes, there are more important things than counting calories. I wonder, how did people live before they discovered all this data? They were in tune. They were in tune with themselves. They were in touch with themselves. They were in touch with nature. They weren't being shown advertisements 24/7. They were not overstimulated by technology. They were living different lives, you know. They were like, oh, like, I can eat today. I'm gonna eat. You know, I need to eat a bit more because I don't know when the next time I'm gonna eat is. Oh, there's no food around. I gotta fast. like in touch with nature and cycles. And I mean, that's why in my course there's a whole the fifth petal is all about nature and the elements, and getting back in touch with nature. That's a fundamental human need. And I think it's really hard in this world today to be balanced and in touch with oneself. And but that's something I have been able to figure out, and that's what I teach. That's what I'm super passionate about teaching, because it's not just food. It's not just nature. It's many things, and those things can be kind of clumped into different categories. And my guides have really downloaded this whole program for me that is absolutely phenomenal. Oh my God. And that's being revealed in the free video mini course, The Best Kept Secrets of Radiant Health and Spiritual Awakening, which is a private email list where I send exclusive video content every single week. After this, I'm going to have some lunch because I got to eat, and I will actually be filming this week's video. But if what I'm sharing here today resonated, then definitely sign up for that free video mini course, as well as Reiki 1 and 2 I will be offering online. You can join the wait list for that course, and I'm offering it online in May, and I'm very, very excited because my guides are like, girl, it's time to teach. I've been credentialed to teach for almost a year now, and I was waiting until I got clearance. They're like, girl, we with you 111%. Like, let's go, bring the students on. So if you're looking to do some Reiki training, if you're looking for a healing experience like none other, and being seriously empowered, mind, body, soul, and spirit, then you're going to want to get on that wait list. I can't wait. It's going to be epic. So yeah, I think that's what I'll leave y'all with today. I will be back here tomorrow at Joyful Raw Life live on Instagram. You can check out the replay on my IGTV at Joyful Raw Life, as well as my YouTube channel, Taylor A. Norris. I appreciate all of y'all. Much love to all of y'all. Have a beautiful Wednesday. I'll be seeing you in your inbox tomorrow morning if you're in my free course. Much love to you. Namaste, friends. Thanks for sharing energy here. Mwah. Shine on. Shine on.